I believe that it's important for every Canadian to make the pilgrimage to Ottawa, our nation's capital, at least once in their life.
I believe baseball is the most sublime of all sports.
I believe that one of life's greatest pleasures is fresh baked bread.
We all have beliefs. We're all believers, and beliefs matter. And that plays out in the question that Cardus engages day to day. How can you order a society? How can you put us together in a way that's civil and that's flourishing when we can hold to our deeply held beliefs?
We understand that in public life, in our life and society together, much of this is lived out in the context of various associations, institutions, and understanding how these institutions are structured. Healthy institutions promote individual flourishing and growth. Unhealthy institutions stifle it and restrict life and flourishing. And so understanding what makes good and healthy institutions in our present context, and so mapping that space and learning the lessons so we can enhance that space creates more opportunity for freedom and flourishing.
A lot of people's perspectives on labor unions are either for or against, and that assumes all sorts of things that aren't always argued for in the public square. And what we're trying to argue for is that people, as people, and their relationship to the work together in certain ways, and they choose to organize themselves together in certain ways. And those ways are often very different, and our policy environment only recognizes two of those ways.
So it's very easy to say a government should or government shouldn't. But if we don't have mediating institutions that have some capability of picking up their responsibilities, we have a problem.
In the city of Calgary, for instance, they were going to expand, made plans to expand their downtown core in terms of population by between 40 and 70,000 people. And their center city plan was a great plan, well developed, a lot of attentive inputs from both professional and community side. But one piece that we noted that was missing was not all institutions that are actually leading to a flourishing downtown were part of that plan. One missing institutional space was the role of faith-based organizations across the spectrum. So Cardus began to work on bringing stakeholders together, helping them understand how that could be possible in a way that does not privilege faith-based organizations in the public square, but simply allows them to contribute as citizens.
Our work needs to be solid and academically credible, but our work needs to speak to the day-to-day lives of not just academics. It needs to speak to lawyers, it needs to speak to business people, it needs to speak to political leaders.
We've been looking at the outcomes of religiously based education in adulthood, and our focus is on the fact that all education is public education. It's education for the common good. So we've been seeking to measure how graduates live that out in their adult lives.
When there's a vibrant public square, that means that you and I are engaging in conversation, in ideas. We're not only engaging, we're living together. And we're not living together in our separate atomized worlds. We're living together and exploring what you can do together. That makes us civil. That makes us flourishing. That makes us human.
I believe that good design shows off great work.
I believe markets are made for people, not people for the markets.
I believe the written word will survive all the assaults of technology.
I believe that it is good for us to take time to marvel and appreciate the beauty that surrounds us.
I believe cities can be much more effective than they are today.
The beauty of Cardus is that the beliefs we have are rooted in 2,000 years of Christian thought.